Good evening. I will definitely not take much of your time because I am actually at Alkebulan and the network is very shaky. It's a little bit breezy and rainy outside, and I do not want what I want to say to be interrupted due to inclement weather. But I will try to be as frank and as forceful as possible. I really don't take pleasure doing these outings, and that is why I have decided to be silent from this space while doing what is necessary from the back. However, if I do not speak out, I'll be doing a disservice not just to each one of you, but to my conscience. And as I've often said, what counts to me in the struggle for freedom or in any other struggle or any engagement I get in life with is my conscience. When conscience tells me what I'm doing is okay, I will go forward with it. It could be morally wrong, but legally right. It could both be morally and legally wrong, but consensuously okay. Or it could be legally, morally, and consensuously right. That is human nature. I said something is stinking and it's really smelling. It has been smelling for a very, very long time. Unfortunately, every time I speak, many will not want to listen to what I say. They will talk about my tone, the sound of my voice, and dodge away from the nitty-gritty of the issues I raised. I have done everything possible to make sure I listen, I liaise, I collaborate, and work with everyone. Everyone. Even those who have thrown all types of tantrums on me. Those who have tried to demean my personality, attack me, attack my family. Those who have said all types of crazy stuff. When it comes to the struggle for freedom, I have bent and bent so low for them to work on me. In one of our meetings, I could remember that the head of the Ambazonia Governing Council made it categorically clear that nobody in this struggle have been forgiving and willing to go to any length as Chairman Akwanga. I do not take pride in that, because if everything was fine, then the Argos Sea head wouldn't have made that statement. It is because things have not been okay for a very long time. It has not been okay for a very long time. Some time ago, a few of us met. And before we met, the head of Argos Sea raised the idea, because I need to make this very clear, raised the idea of us organizing some sort of a conference where we can bring all our people together to find a way, but maybe to do it incrementally, but however to find a way, especially those of us who were in Canada, that we can come together and try to bring the rest of the other people together. The reality is, it was a beautiful message, but maybe he was not a good messenger to some people. I came on board, I said, this is a very bright idea. How are we going to coin it? We need to find a way to get everybody involved. Then I equally raised an issue, that the biggest problems we have faced in the struggle for the freedom of our homeland, the former British Southern Cameroons, comes from those of us who live in the West in particular. That is in North America, in Western and Eastern Europe, and even those who live in the Far East and in Asia, specifically China. A lot of us out here who are in the West or in Western Europe have been acting like that big uncle who sells the few family plots that were left, took a flight and traveled abroad. Why abroad? That uncle has been doing everything to make sure no other person in the family comes abroad again. So that every time that he, the uncle, comes back home, he will be seen as the only cock that crows in that family. They will carry his bag. If he rents a car, they'll be washing the car for him. In fact, they polish his shoes. They will do everything. So that when he passes around the family, he is seen as the only cock that crows. That is exactly the way many in the West have been reacting in this struggle. And whether people want to accept it or not, this is where the trouble has been. This is the biggest trouble. Even the issues that take place back at home, in our homeland, where there are some young men and women who have decided to become, they get into the acts of extortion, they kidnapped, they do all types of crazy stuff, and some people justify it as, oh, if they don't do this, how are they going to run the struggle? As if the old men and women, our moms and dads, the octogenarians within our people who have suffered so much, wrote a letter to us and said, please, we are tired of living with these people. Come and free us. So we thought we should add their pain. However, the diaspora has been the biggest problem. It is the biggest problem because everybody is in the diaspora except a few went through the sea. One way or the other, people went by flight. As long as somebody can fly into a country. Take, for example, the United States, which does not refuse anybody. Anyone can win DV lottery, and you can easily find your way to the US. It's open to everybody, even the crazies. The most craziest among us, even within some of our families, we know them. They find themselves to the US. They start working dollars. Some of them even try to change their tongue. They want to speak like our own children who are born in the United States. And they speak in such a way that at times you don't understand them. That is what they do. So when they start doing that, they start thinking that, oh, even if I'm 20 years old, the person who is 25 years old is not senior to me by age. We are equal. After all, we came by flight, we do the same thing and all whatnot. The dollar is green. Everybody can touch it. Or euros, even pounds. Respect goes out of the door. The ability to respect and understand that we cannot be master of everything. That there are some people that are gifted in certain things. And the only thing we can do for our own gift to come to us is to help propel those individuals to do those things for the good of all of us and for our own good to come out. No, we haven't done that. We have actually tripled down to what La République du Cameroon have done to us and our homeland for more than 6 decades. And now we have become experts in this craftiness, in this act of sabotage, in this act of trying to destroy one another. And what do I mean? When this idea of us coming together as a people, looking at it as a means that after Canada, we can find something to rally together so that we reshape the struggle and set up a new charter in going forward. I insisted, and I want to use the word I insisted, because I spoke to Comrade Cho Lucas Ayaba behind the scene, and I made it very clear, and I spoke to others who were reluctant, and they gave different reasons that if we are serious in bringing our people together, then we should take that conference down to Al-Kebulan. We should take it down to Al-Kebulan and stop complaining. Because the moment you organize a conference in Belgium, somebody can leave France, leave Holland, leave the United Kingdom or anywhere, maybe by ferry or by car and drive over. When they come in, they don't do any meaningful contribution. They are thinking of their car that they have driven and come over, or the ticket that they bought, or because they have the means to stay in a hotel, and they become a problem to that very meeting or that gathering or that conference. I say we need to stop that. Let us take this particular conference to the continent. And I still stand by that. That we should take it to the continent. And people say, oh no, look at what happened to Comrade Ayok and others. I say, no. I go to the continent every now and then. I know people like Comrade Elvis Cometa who travels to the continent time and again to look after refugees. And there are even others who do that. The only reason some of us, I repeat, some of us, amongst those of us who are in Canada, and even those who are not in Canada, who pass around that they are leaders, because that's not leadership, are scared to get down to the continent. It is because of the way we have been prosecuting this war. We think that if we act stupidly, if we speak foolishly, it will make us to be respected. It will make people to think that our unwise arrogance is, how do I put it? Is mark of maturity in going toe-to-toe with La République du Cameroon. It doesn't work that way. It doesn't. I am the first person who took beer, and I was attacked the first day I did that. And I explained exactly what was going on. So that has been our biggest problem. Our problem were amongst us leaders. Some of us, in fact, at times I ask myself, how do I even associate myself with some of these people? We speak without control. We don't understand that for us to win this war for the good of our people, we don't only have to develop leadership quality as we go along. We have to understand the strength of one another and use it to our fullest. And we should be careful with the way we speak. We should be careful. You cannot go and take a position where you are explaining to the rest of the world that yes, the other side is not respecting the Geneva Convention. I too will not respect it. No normal human being, no man, not even Putin, with all the atrocities in Ukraine, will want to do anything directly or indirectly to accept responsibility for what is happening in Ukraine. What have we done in this struggle? We see people do this. When you try to advise them behind, they don't listen. You come to the public, they send all types of hawks and kites who will come around and throw insults and say, who do you think you are? What are you trying to say? No. It is because if I, Ebenezer, in this struggle, carry myself in the wrongful manner, or do something that is not okay, I swear before God and man, it will not only affect me directly, which of course it will affect me, it will have a negative implication to the entire struggle. This is what most of us don't understand. We don't get it. We don't get it. We think that I can just come out and do anything. After all, it's just going to be an APLM stuff. It will not have anything to affect the greater struggle in any form. No! Struggles don't work that way. That is why if I go out and I act in a funny way or I say things that are not okay, those in the West and others who communicate are going to make calls to some of you and say, hey, what is wrong with that man? Is he okay? Why should he speak this way? Eh? Does he know that he's endangering the entire struggle? He's making you people to lose ground? It is not everybody who said those things. It is me who said it. And then they will have to turn to others and say, no, you guys have to call this person to order. But you know, in this struggle, we are all volunteers. Who are you going to call to order? Who will you call? Especially those of us who are doctors. Are you going to call another person with a PhD and talk to the person who will tell you that I have my PhD? Who do you think you are? I have my wife and my kids. Who do you think you are? No, we don't listen. I remember that every time we have a serious problem and we want to discuss about it, somebody like John Bakuru will remind us that he went to School of Diplomacy in Yaoundé to shut us down. He went to school of diplomacy. And what are you going to say? He said he went to school of diplomacy. It is just like somebody who said that I went and studied human rights in North Korea. Huh? I studied human rights in North Korea. Or I was involved in the rights of women in Iran, Saudi Arabia. Okay? It's that type of thing. We are being reminded that they studied diplomacy. So whatever we are saying doesn't make sense because they too are diplomats. So it becomes so difficult for us to come together, find a way to work together. Because people don't want to stay within their lane. They want to be all over the place. Some of us undermine one another because they look too small. We drive expensive cars more than them. We think that we can speak better grammar than them. No. I'm going to accuse somebody if I'm from Mankong. You don't speak the local dialect. I could say, oh no, maybe you have to do better. These are borrowed language that all of us are using. So, why am I saying all of this? I've hinted you people how this notion of a conference came about. I even traveled to Ghana, sent by CDN. Maybe I know very well not everybody in CDN contributed that money. But I came under the auspices of CDN. I don't belong to CDN. But when it comes to this struggle, I'm prepared to work with anyone, even the one people think is a devil. Until I realize that it is no longer working, that I might actually be helping that devil to destroy the struggle, I pull out. That is the way I am. And people hate me for this, and I don't have any apology for that. I traveled to Ghana for 12 days. I went to Kofi Annan International Peace Training Center to talk about them helping to organize this conference. Because I know Captech is almost an arm of the government of Ghana. So that the government of Ghana will be involved. I did that because I said the only successful conference for our people is the one where our people back home can find a means to be fully involved in it, to participate. Because their voices must be heard. We can no longer push them aside and allow us with our doctorate degrees, our master's degree, with our big cars, think we have Western passports, we can fly in and cause chaos. No. It is their lives which is at stake. Some of us will die out there and buried out there. Okay? I equally insisted that the refugee community of our people, those who find themselves in the border country, the Federal Republic of Nigeria, those who are languishing in Ghana, and even those who are not in Ghana or in Nigeria, who can fly to Ghana because there is what we call visa upon arrival. You put a conference in the US, how many people will come in from Al-Kebula? That is Africa. How many? You need visas. So you are finding a way to cut off these people from participating. You want them to use audio. You want them to use maybe Zoom and the rest. Why can't you use Zoom? You want them to use Zoom. We must take this conference. And I also insisted that the reason why there is all this chaos from the diaspora is the vast majority of our people have taken themselves far away from the epicenter, from the center of where the trouble is. You need to come down to the continent and see how our people are suffering. So that you will change your ways in this struggle. You will speak in a responsible manner. You will sit and realize that even as angry as I am, and maybe justifiably as angry as you are, I have to find a way to do something to save the lives of these people. Come and see how refugees are suffering. To eat is a problem. To eat is a problem. I brought little or nothing, which I was donating using my institute. And I saw how my own people were fighting over little or nothing that I brought. And who will blame them? So we stay very far away from the struggle. We don't care about the suffering. We pass orders. We just say anything that we want to say. Asking our people to do this, to do that, to do that. I even went further and asked my own people in that meeting, if we are asking other people's children to take risks on the behalf of all of us, why are we scared of taking the least but very consequential risk to come down to the continent in a well-organized conference where all of us can meet? Why? Do you think when I come to the conference, if La République du Cameroon wants to pick me or somebody wants to kill me or poison me or what, they will not do it? They will do it. It is part of it. As long as you are involved in this struggle, how you carry yourself, know that anything can happen to you anytime, anywhere. You can die. We should put that in mind. I cannot sit there and say, oh, I hate Sokadev. I send other people's children to carry arms to defend homeland. Yet I am scared of taking the least of risk. The least of risk. People don't travel, as I said, is because of the way they carry themselves. Of course, we want to compete with La République du Cameroon in acts of barbarism. Some of us are even competing with this other guy they call Atanganji in act of rudeness, the way we speak. But I don't think it's smartness, it's foolishness. Foolishness born out of stupidity. Because at times you become so stupid until that stupidity starts giving you the impression that you are wise. It's not wisdom. It's not wisdom. This is how this conference came about. And the argument were left and right. People were arguing. Some were insisting on this, insisting on that. We were building up this conference for the good of everybody. But the first problem came up when some of our own brothers and sisters decided to start a parallel conference the moment they heard that we were trying to set up a conference. And we said that, what is all this madness? Why should you start something parallel? Why must you do something that we want that the thing you are doing must come now and join with these two together? Why? Why do we always do this? Why? Do we really feel the pain of the young men and women, the moms and dads, the children whose future has been mortgaged forever? Do we truly feel it? Do we feel it? Because we are so good in generalization. You leaders should come together. We are always scared of pointing fingers to the people who are responsible. You leaders should come together. Do you people know how much I have sacrificed to bring people together? Even those that people don't work with, I extend my hand. I try to be like the branch between those who will say this is a no-go zone and those who say I will try to reach. I try to stay in the middle. So that those who don't want to talk to one another can come together. Because I don't have enemies. I make decisions and I'm very straightforward. I sit in a meeting, I tell John Ba Akuru, I don't trust you. I don't want to have any business to do with you. I don't go behind and say it. Or I want somebody to tell him. I told him in his face, I don't trust you. I will work with you because there are others who are saying that we should do this, but I don't trust you. For me, I will not want to have any business to do with you. I am not accusing you that you've taken money from La République. No, I am saying I don't trust you. And nobody should go further to ask me to come and explain myself. I've made that position very clear. So when I work with people, I don't spend time to gossip. I tell you upfront. That is who I am. Many will not like it. But I think it is the best way for me to keep my conscience clean. Am I perfect? No. When it comes to this struggle, I try to make sure I don't keep enemies. But I tell you, if I can't work with you, I say I will not work with you. Because I don't think you are doing it in good faith. That is the way I approach things. That is the way I operate. And when you take a position which is that powerful, you hear your own brothers and sisters to start telling you, oh, you are siding with the West. How do you want to side with a Western organization or Western this against maybe CDN? God forbid. Something is definitely wrong with us. The same people who are speaking are people who are either carrying Western passports or they have Western travel documents. They want to hold conferences. They want to hold it in the West. The very conference we are saying, take it to the continent. They are holding it in the very West, where they are telling us that we are supporting Western organizations to this. No, we have done a lot of things that have even turned people against CDN. People with good intentions. And CDN itself has not even helped the matter. I came to Ghana, held a meeting here. I took the leadership of Captech and linked up to CDN until they had a meeting to start preparing towards this conference. I do not belong to CDN. I do not play games. I was not doing it to strengthen CDN or to say, oh no, this is how CDN is supposed to go. I did it because I thought CDN has a part to play. I thought they had their own part to play because most of them, if not all of them, are people from our homeland. I never did that because I thought CDN is more than United States Institute for Peace. No. CDN is an NGO, a public charity, a U.S. public charity, just like the Benisa Akwanga Human Rights and Humanitarian Institute, just like the Atom Foundation. That is what CDN is. CDN is not like humanitarian dialogue. So let us be very careful how we try to mix up things. And we go around when people want to do this, we just say, oh, it's Western organization. What are you doing this? What are you doing that? No. I can tell you, my people, you can trust those Western organizations because you can even see where their interest is. Be careful when you work with our people. Work with them. Don't trust them. We are very dangerous. We are very dangerous. Don't trust. Because you work with people, agree with them, the next time you hear the things they are saying, you can't believe it. They can't talk in front of you. They can't confront you. They can't even reach out to you. Take, for example, SCNC under Agbo Prison was reaching out. And when they reach out to everybody, they did not reach out to Akwanga because I heard that there is one lady amongst their group who is so fond of Akwanga and thinks that she can go into their SCNC meeting and lambast Dr. Akwanga and do that. I've told most of you people that you are cowards. None of you can speak in front of me. You are all cowards. That is how you people are. Even those who are in the SCNC who create all this chaos don't even know what the SCNC is all about. They have no knowledge about it. And what did they do? After I said all what I said, they said, oh no, we will be reaching out to you. We will call you. Nobody cares to call Dr. Akwanga. After who is Dr. Akwanga? He's nothing. You see, there are some people in this struggle who think that because I come from the southern region, and I'm the one person who comes from the southern region who has been steadfast in this struggle, in my own right, they can always use me to blemish their acts of criminality. When they want to do something, oh, let's get to Dr. Akwanga, let's get him involved. No, they're not getting involved because they think that my contribution is valuable. They are thinking of where I come from. They need to do something. Oh, let's make sure that we get him involved so that people don't say this. I've told you people that you will no longer do that. Not with me. I don't stand against anybody. And anyone who works with me will not stand against anyone. Anybody, any group, any organization that can free our homeland. Before my mother and father who died and were buried, I have not seen their graves. I will back you. But you will not use me without respecting me. Because I'm prepared to put myself as I've done for this struggle. But nobody, no organization, no group will take me to use my image to blemish the type of terrible things that they have been doing. Nobody will do that any longer. I will not tolerate it. I will not. If you come into this struggle, you don't show respect. And this is what I have said in the meeting. I know that when it comes to myself, Comrade Yerima, John Bakuru, Prizo, Comrade Cho Lucas Ayaba, I don't know their ages. I don't know their ages. I'm almost 53. So they should look at their ages first and see where they come from, age-wise. They should look at that. Then they should also look at their dedication to this struggle. They should look at their dedication to the struggle. And there, they will be able to know that no matter what you do in this world, this neck will never go above this head. That is how nature is. Does that mean that the neck doesn't have its own rule? No. The head has its own, the neck has its own. You can't skip where you belong to try to play a role which does not fit you. You can't. You cannot abrogate leadership when you do not have leadership in you. It flows in the blood. That is what leadership is all about. That is what leadership is all about. if we agree to have a conference, say we should bring the conference to the continent, some people say, oh, they can't come. I've explained they have their rights to be scared. But as I've said, the majority of our people who are scared are responsible for their faith. It is not the struggle. It is how they prosecute the struggle. Does that mean that those of us who prosecute the struggle the way we do, it cannot be targeted? No. We can be targeted. But let me ask each one of you, if we, after 6 years, cannot be proud of having one country in our Kebulan, one, even behind the scene, that stand with us, then who is deceiving who? Who is deceiving who? I mean, that after 6 years, we don't have one country. One in Akebulan, where our navel is buried. We don't have one. We have bet international NGOs that we are trying to move around them. We don't have one. And we are not even doing anything to gain the respect or the trust of one. One. Then we say we are liberating our homeland and liberating our people. We go around, we deceive them. By the time I finish this, others are going to tell you that they want to address the Ambazonian people. Some will go out and make press statements. Others will go to YouTube. That is how people are. Negative competition. People don't sit in, take in something. They want to compete. They want to say, oh, this person was online. I too must go online, let them see me. I need to do this. I need to do that. We don't care at all about how the entire land is being destroyed. We don't care about it. We do not. Now, to show the type of people we are trying to organize a conference where in Canada, SCPC. They sent me an invitation. I haven't responded because I will not respond. I have made it categorically clear that for the disrespect that I got from Akuru, Agboprizo in particular, even Yerima joining them, and for those in the CDN who were with us, who were going along these acts, because they think these are the people who stood with them from the very day that the CDN came on board. I will have nothing to do with these people. That is what I said. And that position remains until further notice. I will not stand against them. Whatever they want to do, let them go ahead and keep APLM out of it. I do not operate in chaos. I do not. I do not operate in chaos. For if I was, I will not be alive today. I do not operate in chaos. By the time you people sat and said you are taking a conference to Canada, have you thought for 1 second that you are taking Canada and setting them into a trap in the same mistake that Switzerland did? Switzerland rightfully could not bring two parties into a negotiated process when one is overwhelmingly powerful than the other. That is what diplomacy is all about. On the issue of resolving conflict, you have to make sure that both parties are almost in parity in understanding the nitty-gritty of what they have to do. That was what Switzerland was doing. And that is how ACT came about, the Ambazonian coalition team. Switzerland wants to make sure that the state of Cameroon and the people of Ambazonia are almost in parity by the time they sit on the table to talk. What happened? The Hawks in La République took that, ran with it, and started saying that Switzerland was supporting us. So they no longer want to be involved in the process. They want to stay far away from it. The very Switzerland that we know that their ruler spends most of his time in. Now they were so scared of the very Switzerland that have agreed. Because they discovered that Switzerland said no. In this thing is our business. We have done this for so many years. We cannot destroy our image. We want to make sure we do this thing the right way. They say, we thought that because our big man comes and spends most of the time there, you will side with us. Since you don't want to side with us, we are no longer part of it. And again, you keep allowing these people to come and hold meetings there. Therefore, you are taking their sides. And that is how the process in Switzerland collapsed. Not out of Switzerland's own willful making, but because they were doing what conflict resolution actually demands of them. So now you sit. You are taking a conference to Canada, which is now the new party trying to bring the two sides together. And amongst you people, some of you said you went to school of diplomacy. You did not look at the negative repercussion that you are playing into the hands of the hawks. That the little thread that is still standing of the Canadian peace process or initiative, what you are trying to do is to cut it and throw it somewhere into fire. That's what you are trying to do. If you are so bent on organizing an SCPC, what happened that you can't organize it in the United States? Why not take it to Belgium? To Holland? Or ask Agbo Prison to organize it in France? You guys can go to France. Or you will say, oh, what are you talking about? Oh, yes. Or to the UK. You can do that. You can do that. You want to take it to Canada so that you can find any means possible to make sure that the state of Cameroon turns their back ad infinitum. Do whatever they could against the little shred which is still hanging. That maybe the government of Canada is doing everything now to stitch it to bring the two sides together. You guys want to just cut it without thinking. Even those of you from CDN who work with international organizations, you people have become blind at this hour. You cannot see that danger. You are calling refugees in Ghana, arranging with them that they should send 2 people to come to Canada. Are you people thinking? Are you guys actually serious? Are you really serious? Because I don't get it. I do not really understand. I do not get it. We sat in a meeting. We sat in a meeting with CDN. With most of these names I've called. And we agreed that Canada should be kept totally far away from this conference issue. But that they should be aware of what we are doing, because the main purpose of the conference is not only bringing our people together, is to prepare ourselves for eventual talks. And since they are coming in as whether mediators or facilitators, whatever we do, we try to let them be aware of. But that they should stay far away from it. And it is in that regard that I sent Mark Chaps, Dr. Taylor, and others that they should contact the United States Institute for Peace. After all, the vast majority of our people have always asked that why is the US not getting involved? But listen, just as the United States gets involved in election stuffs in Akibulan through their other network, the National Democratic Institute, NDI, that is how they get involved in conflicts in the continent through United States Institute for Peace. You don't expect the State Department to jump in the middle. It doesn't work that way. Even in the situation of South Sudan and elsewhere. And you are not willing to use the instruments of USIP, created by the Congress of the United States, not a public charity. You even want to fight the United States Institute for Peace and create a situation as if USIP is competing with CDN. In the same way you have created the same situation like HD is competing with CDN. What level of madness and witchcraft is this? What is operated with CDN. Even those of you people who started collaborating with CDN, what I have done with CDN for the very short time that CDN, I reached out to CDN. I was even trying to bring CDN and ACT together, finding a way where we can work together. God alone knows. Everybody in ACT can testify. There were people in ACT who did not even want me to talk to CDN. And I told them that no, I will do that. I will talk to CDN. If I can talk to Banqui, I can talk to Eko. There are even people in La Republic who wants to reach out to talk to me. Why should I not talk to CDN? After all, there are people from my homeland. I know there are people who are serving Cameroonians who are more dangerous than even Emi Joe Banqui. When it comes to me, my understanding of things. Very dangerous. Okay? But I talk to them. I talk to them. So we are looking for a means. I said, listen, how do we get the US involved? USIP must play a pivotal role. And while USIP is playing that pivotal role, we should try to reach out to the other international organizations that have already shown interest in the struggle. Because the way this thing works is that these people talk to one another. And if we don't make each of them to smile, you don't even know which area where to which diplomat they are talking that they are actually destroying everything we are doing. We have to be careful. We have to be smart. We have to be smart. You cannot win a modern liberation struggle if you don't match smartness with wisdom. You use only knowledge. You are bound to collapse. Because the very people you are doing all of these things against are those who will destroy you. These guys have doors to the Security Council. They have doors that they talk to people within the UN. They have doors they can open that you and me cannot open. Whether we like it or not. They open these doors. They open these doors. It's like Captech. When I came to Captech to talk to Captech, imagine who met me there. A CPDM parliamentarian met me talking to Captech. To the lady, discussing everything there because of my relationship that I have with the leadership of Captech. I don't even know that guy. He's from the southern region from Kumba. One is Semen. He recognized me. And I cannot tell you, this is a CPDM parliamentarian how he greeted me. I was looking at him and saying that, but who is this? I was with another ambassador who is a refugee. He greeted me and said, I know this face, I know this face. Hey, this is Dr. Akwanga, the famous. He greeted me. He sent his hand, I greeted him, then he introduced himself. That is a parliamentarian. Then he went further to tell the people there that though we are from opposing sides, we truly respect this man. That this man who is sitting in front of you, people, you don't even know who he is. Imagine it was one of you, because a CPDM parliamentarian was there doing training. He greeted you. I think you would have just taken excuse that you were going to ease yourself and you disappear. Instead of sitting there and work for our people. You would have disappeared. Or maybe by me greeting him, I've collected billions. And when I came back, I explained it to my contact in CDN that this is exactly what happened. I was surprised. But fear never came across me because I don't think about those things. I do not think for 1 second about that. So this is exactly what is going on. And you guys call refugees. You tell them to prepare 2 persons that you want them to come to Canada for a conference. You will send invitation letter for them to go to the High Commission to have visas. Let me assure you of one thing. This is the way I talk and this is what I will do. You will have to use another magic to get those refugees to Canada. Because I am going to intervene at the Canadian High Commission in Ghana. Anything that is linked up with chaos is not going to work in this struggle. I'm saying it openly. I don't care what the rest of you are going to say behind. I don't care what you even go to the public and say. That is what I, Dr. Akwanga, am going to do. I'm not asking the Canadian government to take a position. I'm telling you people my position. The position of the APLM and the position of the vast majority of our people. You want to organize a conference? You are so eager. You are so itchy. Take it out of Canada. I don't care whether you now want to call it consultation. Just like the Southern Cameroon's Amazonia consultation, how do they call it, conference, which is going to take place in Maryland, that they have decided that they want to consult. Because this is the decision they agreed on when they went to UC. For 2 days, I never went and hit my chest. I actually had a meeting with Dr. Ayaba. Ayaba and Yusuf had a meeting where we gave our blessings for them to go forward. Because I told Yusuf were concerned. I said, no, I'll bring Ayaba along. I went to him, I explained things to him. We had a meeting with Yusuf. So we cannot sit behind, and when it's time for us to get the United States involved, the same people who will go and speak well or evil about us as leaders and the entire struggle to those in the State Department are the same people we start attacking, we start insulting, we start putting them in the same platform with CDN. Now, which level of matutu would drink we make we decrease? What exactly is wrong with us? What exactly is wrong with us? The people in CDN, I don't have personal problems with them. They're my people. I deal with them. But I am direct when I see something is happening that I don't like it. I say I will no longer be party to this. So, you can go ahead preparing for your conference. But I never came after CDN when they organized the first conference in Canada. The armed defense or the self-defense conference that took place, I was one of the champions in it. Because Comrade Cho convinced me to be involved. Though at the end of the day, as usual, he left me in the middle of the road. It was me who had to handle it. I did most of the talking. I did my best for the good of our people. And even those who are running around CDN now and running their mouth were not there. Because even if they were there, what would they offer? The years of diplomacy at Eric? Or the leadership of the organization they're holding? Because we do not respect one another for who we are. Or what we have in us. And when we are challenged, it's a problem. I was in Canada. Yusuf was in that meeting. Glenn Kay from Northern Ireland was there. There were different persons who were there. I did not refuse to go because it was under the auspices of CDN. And in one of the trips, I collapsed in the plane where I left Canada, flying down to Arkebula. I left Canada. I collapsed inside the plane. My people, because of this struggle. In the course of the Canadian process, I collapsed in the plane. It was a miracle how I woke up. I collapsed in the plane. There was a Christian group from the US. A Christian group. Because I flew from Canada to Washington, D.C. I flew from Canada to Washington, D.C. That is exactly what happened. And from Washington, D.C. to Accra. And I collapsed in the plane. If I had died, the very people who could not show respect would have been mocking at me. That I've carried the struggle and put on my forehead. Oh yes. When it comes to that, I've put it on my forehead. If it doesn't come to that, they run the struggle. I almost died. I almost died. But I kept going. I didn't give up. I didn't give up for 1 second. I'll be right back. So, the reason I'm saying all of this, I said something is stinking and is really smelling. As I said, I don't have a problem with any group of people who wants to organize a conference. But I have a problem when these things are done under the disguise of creating more chaos. And then we pretend as if we try to bring everybody. They're going to tell you tomorrow that, oh, no, we sent an invitation to Dr. Akwanga. He did not. No. Before they even send the invitation, they know I will not come. Because I withdrew from the meeting which we were having and under the auspices of CDN. And I tell you, the moment I pulled out, it collapsed. I don't pride myself for that. I withdrew, Akwanga. And I withdrew for obvious reasons. I said I cannot stand the disrespect, the snobbishness, the stupidity, and the arrogance of Agboprizo. I could not take it any longer from John Ba Akuru. That is what I said. I made it very clear. I'm not missing words. And these are the same people who were sending invitation to me. As if they have smoked something. Knowing that I will not respond to it. I've withdrawn. And I said, I am not there. You guys should go ahead. I've given you freedom. Go ahead, do it for our people. Free them. I too will go there. Because I don't work with people who don't recognize who I am as a human being. Who think they can use me anyhow. And I told them, if you think Agboprizo is going to be the new Akwanga, who will stand as the face of the people from the southern region, go ahead and use him. He will not be me. I am who I am. I am who I am. I do not tolerate rubbish. Some of you will come and say, oh, Dr. White, no, this is the way I am. I don't hide these things. Because you people would have heard all types of rumors out there. Dr. Akwanga wants that they should do this. They should hear from him. They should do this. By the way, why should you people not hear from me? Even on the basis of longevity, you say, oh, you have been there for too long. Why do you think I'm alive? Why should you not? I've asked a simple question. You guys don't take advantage to make advantage of the instruments, the human instruments you have at your disposal. You do not. You have well-trained lawyers that you could put them together who could do something powerful for our people. But some of you people want to become pocket lawyers. You want to play that role. You have those who find themselves in the field of communication. They are no longer doing communication. They want to be in self-defense. They want to be in finance. They want to be all over the place. It's a problem we have. And I'm telling you people this without missing words. The only reason La République has not won is because they are cursed. They are cursed. They are cursed. That is why they have not won. Because of the things we do and how we carry ourselves. The things we do. We do stupid photoshopping we put online. Somebody is in a stadium, we take, in quote, Ambazonian flag and put as if the person is carrying it. In the same way that Biafrans were putting words in the mouth of Donald Trump. That Trump said this. Trump said this. Trump said this about our leader. That is the same way some of our people have been doing. And they don't know the consequences of that type of foolishness. You are deceiving yourself. You make yourself feel happy. But you are achieving nothing for the people. The struggle is not going anywhere. That an Argentinian is watching a match and is carrying an Amazonian flag. Which is a lie. And an innocent person who doesn't know will see it and believe and start taking it for gospel truth. That is the danger of what you have done. You've not only lied to yourself, you've put it out there for stupid propaganda, which is not positive in any way, and you're lying to our people. And the hard work will die because you say, oh, we need to reach out to different people around the world to back us. They'll say, but look at that flag. That is the question. You don't want a conference in Akebulan. No meeting, no one single movement or liberation struggle have succeeded in this continent without the support of another country in this continent. Directly or indirectly. Not one. But we don't work for that. When the APLM went to South Africa and were trying to do things, oh, we had trouble. Milan and his others came up. All types of mafiasco came up. People started playing all types of games. It became an issue of we too have to do the same thing. You go to talk to the Secretary General of the ANC. They too wants to go and see the Secretary General of the ANC. It becomes that type of foolish competition. You go and address the South African Foreign Relations Subcommittee. They want to go there. They don't have the means to go. You begin a meeting with the South African Communist Party, where the Cubans are there, the Venezuelans are there. Those from Vietnam and the others are part of the whole setup. They go and meet the South African Communist Party and start to badmouth you, not knowing that the people, they trust you and they will come back to tell you. I mean our own people. Our own people, oh. This is what they do. If I'm going to take out Akwanga, and in the course of taking him out, it will destroy this struggle, I don't give a damn, I will do it. That is the way they operate. That's the way they operate. Out of hitting our chest to say, oh, we don't care whether Akwanga is not there. We don't care whether Ayaba is not there. We're going to organize a conference in Canada. We give a damn. That type of arrogance blinded them so much that they don't ask themselves for one question. That what will be the negative consequences of hosting this other conference on Canadian soil? What will be the consequences? Since other conferences have been held by CDN in Canada, so Canada has an open door policy for CDN to just organize conferences there. The United States is there. Organize it there. The land of the free, the home of the brave. Organize a conference in the USA. After all, even at its worst, the United States remain the most powerful giant in the world. Even at its worst, whether morally, legally, consensuously, or in any form as a country. Even with its rottenness as a country. With its rottenness, with all its xenophobic, misogynistic, racial, and all types of crazy stuff, it remains the greatest giant in this modern era. And you are doing something and you are trying to turn them away. Are we thinking? Are we thinking? Now you guys can bypass Akwanga and call our brothers and sisters who are refugees in Ghana to invite them to come to Canada. You bypass Akwanga. You think you have the path. And you call other people. Oh, you can send two. How many people have you called? Did you call China and ask the others to send people to come? You are playing with fire. This is what I want to tell you people. I am just a single man. I'm a one-man soldier, a one-man army, a one-man squadron. I will come after each one of you if you continue to do this. I don't care what any of you say afterwards. I've told you, you took my signature, my name, and put it out there to deceive the people, to give the people the impression like, oh, you own the process in Canada. So now this is how you put the signature. These people have all given their blessings to it. How could you do that? How could you do that? Is your own signature not responsible enough for people to see it, trust you, believe in what you are doing, and join you? How could you do that? I am partnering with a church or a number of churches, my organization, to see how I can bring aid to our Kebula, to our suffering people. Even when they, as partners, want me to participate on a Sunday service, they send me an invitation first to ask my availability. They don't send me invitation.com. That is the La République style, the Chadian style, the Central African style. That's the Gabonese style, the Congolese style. We do not do that. Knowing fully well I will not come. So you need to fulfill that. No, we send the invitation to everybody. No, you didn't. Because it's not the invitation that counts. It is what you did that led towards that invitation. That counts. You won't get me. I won't be party to it. But because you put me, my signature, and gave that impression that I'm involved, that is why I'm speaking. That is why it is a stench. It is stinking. It's stinking. If I take my phone and show you the picture of a young man who brought 4 down from the enemy side and the wound he is having, at the time when you people are playing Lilliputian politics, then you will understand exactly where I'm coming from. I've told you people, you can say what you want to say, you can insult me, you can say what you want to say. You won't take anything from who I am. You see, the most selfish thing in the world is knowledge. Whatever you have, when you die, you go with it. Even your most loved child or grandchild cannot take it. You can't pass it to anybody. And that is how we are in this world. When God decided to use Abraham, he didn't put another leader. It is one at a time. That is what the Bible teaches us. One at a time for a particular mission. But God created other people to work with that leader. He doesn't tell those people that, oh, Moses, you are going to liberate my people from Egypt. Therefore, you, Aaron, I'm also making sure you are also another leader to go liberate the people from Egypt. Joshua, you two come and make you a leader. No. He's not a God of confusion. He doesn't do that. He can't do that. It is one at a time. What are you guys doing? You are doing like the same people who told God that they were not satisfied with all what he was giving to them. They want a king. Go to the books of Kings, 1 King, and start reading. They told God they want a king. God said, you want a king? He said, yes. He said, okay. So upon all what I have done for you, I've given you food that rain from the heavens. I've given you water that comes from the rock. I have crossed you, opened the seas, and passed you in between. I have done everything, protected you from mosquitoes, wild animals. And that is not enough. You want a king. I am not king enough for you. Okay, I will give you one. When you read that particular verse in the Bible, you know God was already angry. He gave them a king that they requested, but he was an angry God. And the Bible teaches us that the anger of the Lord is terrible. He's slow to anger, but when he's angry, it's different. That is what we have done. For those of us who are Christians, those who are non-Christians, it will not affect them. Those who say they are Christians who believe in God, that is what you've done. You've created kings. Kings. I beg when a leader, when I come together, when I can't see what you do. No. No. A man doesn't hurt and Jangi group becomes a leader. That is why we are suffering in this continent. Rulers all over the place. And some of us are thinking that they are leaders. Can we count leaders in this continent? We have rulers. We don't have leaders. Rulers. That maybe when one day one of them goes somewhere and try to say something that makes sense, some of us start thinking that, oh, that is a good man, he has changed. Oh, Ramaphosa is speaking today. You say, oh, Ramaphosa has not changed. He was there when xenophobia was there against the Nigerians who are there. Against the people from the southern Cameroon, the Zimbabweans. Those from different countries who were there. Ramaphosa was there. He failed. And we see them fail all over in the continent. They keep failing. And we're mistaking them for leaders. Because we have been so used to rulership that we no longer understand who a leader is. It is shocking. It's shocking. So, this is why I came out. There is still a package of what I have to say. But I am not sure of my connections. I don't want to use this time to speak about that now. But as I've told you people, the last shred at this particular moment that can bring those who are killing our people, destroying our homeland, and us who so want to free our people together, cannot be allowed to be destroyed by you people with your SCPC. It will not. You have every right to organize a conference. That's your business. Take it out of Canada. Take it elsewhere. Take it out of Canada. You can't come to Al-Kebulan because you don't want to be picked up. That is not the type of risk you want to take. As much as you can tell other people's children to take risks to free homeland. And they can die at any time. And they are dying every day doing that. That's fine with you. Take your conference elsewhere. And remove my name, my signature or whatever. Remove that of my Secretary General, Dr. Emmanuel Taylor. Keep us out of that nonsense. Keep us out of it. Because that is not what we agreed. We have rejected that. We said no to it long ago amongst us. So you cannot go forward to perpetuate that and give the impression like we are party to it. We are not party to it. Because it is not bringing us together. It is causing further division. This is CAC. I told Yusuf to reach out to everybody. In fact, there were questions that Yusuf asked me about particular people. What if they bring this and that? I said, listen, I don't talk to this person. I don't want to have any business with this person, but I'll be grateful if you can invite that person. I told them, reach out to as many as possible to bring them. You guys refused to go because you were hanging on the cocktails of CDN. I even said Yusuf should bring CDN so that when CDN comes over to participate, they will carry you people along. Because now you guys are holding on the cocktails of CDN. It looks as if CDN is not involved in anything that deals with this struggle, you guys will not be involved. That's a big mistake, of course. You will not be party to it. I said, okay, you see, reach out to CDN to bring them on board. So that when they come on board, all these satellites will be able to join. Even CDN did not. Even CDN. Even CDN. The Coalition for Dialogue and Negotiation did not, and they know better. They know better. They know better. So because they themselves refuse to be involved, they will say no, they are engaged with Yusuf. The moment when they were supposed to come on board, even for the good of our people to make sure the rest follow, CDN did not. And the rest of you, satellite, you stayed away. Only to go, create this stuff, create your letterhead, sign the stuff you want to sign, and then you are sending out invitations. You are reaching out. Come to Canada for conference. What do you want to achieve? Do you know how many type of conferences like this have taken place and have yielded nothing? Has instead caused more division? It's a wastage? And to conclude, let me be frank to each one of you. I made it categorically clear to most of my meetings, and I've told even CDN and I told other people, my major priority is the right to defend our people and homeland. I am not interested in all these politics, all these conferences and the rest. I said it and I want to repeat that if we do our job diligently to defend our homeland and protect our people and don't give in to the criminals who have tried to engage in this to deceive the world that they too are fighting to defend our homeland. Criminals who are even put in our homeland by La République du Cameroon. Why there are even some that are there, created by some of you people. Created by some of you people. Some knowingly, some unknowingly. I have insisted that every bit of cash should be put towards defending homeland. Because the only reason why La République du Cameroon is playing this hanky-panky, it is because they are no longer seeing the amount of blood that they used to see on their own side. And they are thinking that, let us just tarry a bit. We don't need to worry. We tarry a bit. They will get tired and we will win. That is the impression they have given. And some of you are making them to win by doing all of these dirty tricks that you people are playing. Dirty tricks. I call them 5 kobo trick. 5 kobo colony. All this nonsense that you guys are throwing from left to right. That is what you are doing. Playing into the hands of the enemy. So that when we come and talk, you can go out and throw insults and say, oh, you heard that guy. You heard his voice. He's thinking he knows more. He's thinking he does this. That is exactly the way you people are. That's how you are. You play these games behind. People don't even know some of the things you people are doing. Then you come in front. You put a different face while you are destroying other people's images and names. You are destroying other people's images and names. I don't even know what they have discussed within the ranks of the SCNC. All the lies that you people have been told about me. Oh, Dr. Akwanga maybe don't want SCNC to be involved in this. Wants to destroy SCNC. Wants to do this. I said no. It doesn't work that way. It doesn't work that way. That is what I said. It doesn't work that way. The only reason SCNC wanted to stand on its own was because when the signatures came out from Canada, Prison thought that he too was supposed to sign. Oh yes, it became an issue of, I want to be known too. I want to be seen. I would have signed that thing if SCNC was there on its own, not through the IG or anything of that nature. That is the wahala we have. Vanity, empty power. Something that doesn't really count. I was in Canada. I was sleeping in a different hotel. Why those representing us were in the same hotel, in different sections and floors with the delegation from La Republique. The delegation from La Republique never met with me. I don't want to go into other details. I was there as a coach putting our team together. I did everything I have to do. And I almost died in a plane because of fatigue. But what happened? The moment the process in Canada ended and signatures came out, others were claiming responsibility. Others were moving around and beating their chests how their leader brought everybody together. Or he's the one who did this. Without him, nothing would have worked and the rest. I was mute. I stayed quiet. Because to me, in times like this, I don't care who takes who wants to praise themselves. It's none of my business. All what I want is that at least for one moment, we are able to come together for the common good of our people. That is what is most important to me. Because even if they try to twist it and want to take the applause for all whatnot, it doesn't change it that history knows exactly what happened. That's all. That is the role I have to play. That is my role. I have played that role. At times it works, at times it doesn't work. That is my role, and I will continue to play that role. And nobody is going to force me. I've said it. APLM, we have nothing to do with SCPC. SCAC is moving around. They have sent me an invitation. And for SCAC, the invitation SCAC sent to me, when I saw, I opened the invitation, I realized that there is a watermark on that invitation paper. On that watermark, it is written AG of C. So SCAC 2 will need to explain why AG of C is at the background of the invitation they sent to me. Because I've not seen the name of anybody of AG of C on that document. Maybe I don't know those from AG of C. I don't know. I know very well that AG of C somewhere along the line withdrew after I and Comrade Ayaba has given our go-ahead to UC. In that typical style where they are always withdrawing from stuff and coming back, they withdrew. That's what they did. So how could the paper where you are sending an invitation for a consultation in Maryland having AG of C as a watermark? That is an explanation you need to give. I don't care whether many people saw it. I saw it. I do not want the name of AG of C to be used wrongfully. I do not want people to be deceived that AG of C gave their blessing to something if they did not give it. If they gave their blessing, I'm happy and proud of that. But if they do not, it is totally wrong to use that as a means to deceive the people. Unless that AGOV capital C that I saw is different. AG of C. Watermark. We have to be careful. We have to be very, very careful. As long as I'm alive, I will call each one of you out when it concerns this struggle. Your private life is a private life. This struggle, anything within it, I will call you out. After all, I bury my umbilical cord there. I am not going to big places to say who is captain for this or who is this. I am not fighting position with anybody. None of you will take who I am in this struggle. You will not take what I have done. You will not take my sacrifices. You will not change it. You could insult me. You could spit on my grave. You could do whatever you want to do if I die. You will not change it. That is who I am. You won't change it. You won't change it. When I said there should be self-defense, up till today, the 20th of August, 2003, there is not one Southern Cameroonian or Ambazonian who ever approached me, even behind the scene, to say, Chairman, you are the one who raised up this issue. Please, let's sit down. Is there something that you think that we can do or the way we can follow? I mean, even those who wear uniforms, even those who have worn uniform before, who have that technical experience, never reach out with this particular question. Because some of them thought that maybe because they have worn uniforms, they qualify to run urban guerrilla warfare. That's how it is. And that's why we find ourselves where we are. That's why we find ourselves where we are. We get all of this chaos all over the place. Chaos. All over. Children are dying. The homeland is going. I was reading something a few minutes ago where somebody came and wrote and said, the Bazuna Governing Council is what? Is our only hope or something. Look, you have the right to be proud of where you belong. But you have to be careful. You have to be very careful with what you say and how you say it. Because the only way I will get up and tell people that the APLM can do this or is the only this is by delivering on the ground. It's not by talking. Deliver on the ground. Deliver. Me, I'm going to stand against any other person who is going to see that maybe AGOFC or any other entity is delivering on the ground and you want to fight them. I will fight you. You don't deliver on Facebook. Somebody should not provoke you and insult you and say, what are you people doing? And then you just go and you write a big placard and to satisfy yourself, to make yourself feel good, to have some little bit of joy to yourself. You write some trash and put out there. So that you can walk into the hands of the people who want to cause more chaos, more confusion, more insults. That is what we have been doing. That is what we have been doing. It's a problem. Most of this, you have to fix it yourself. Because there are times I think that our gods have left us. That our gods have left us. So the pouring of libation doesn't even work any longer. It doesn't work. It doesn't work. There is no art that you can read the mind's construction on the face. But for the first time, we could prove Shakespeare wrong. That when I see the things some of you people are doing, I see the plottings, the subplots, the craziness and the rest. I'm beginning to read what is in your hearts. And I think it is not for our people, not our homeland. That is what I'm reading. Please, I am not part of the SCPC. Anybody who wants to be part of the SCPC can join them. But you do so at your own risk. I supported SCAC. But I did not ask SCAC to go organize a conference because the purpose was to bring everybody together. And that is why SCAC is calling it consultation. Because they will do a series of it. Because the end goal is to get everybody together. That is the end goal. Even those who are putting up SCPC. Bring everybody together. But people should know their lane. Bringing people together does not mean that we are all the same. The God who created us was not stupid to give the toes on our legs and our fingers to be different, or to make sure each neck has a different size of head that stands on it. If they take a very big head and put on this neck, it will not carry it. They put a very small head on this neck, it will not carry it. So that is the mysteriousness of God for those who believe there is a God. And that is the way even a struggle works. You must know your lane and stand by it. Don't cross into another person's lane. Don't think you can impose yourself as a leader. You cannot do that. You cannot. It is like gold that you must put in fire for it to be refined. It takes time. A lot of hardship and sacrifices. It takes time. I used to tell some people that if you know you are going to give me your money to put into the struggle and you want to control me, take your money away. Because you can't come and give me money, say, oh, take $10,000 or $20,000. Then you are telling me where I need to go and tell Sokadev to go and attack, that there is a this or that somewhere. We will not do that. We can't do that. You have to say, my role is to give you the support. I trust you and I know what you will do. I will sit here. I'm not going to tell Sokadev to go do something because I'm not on the ground. I will give them the advice and they need to follow it. When they want to do it, they come back to me. I say, lay the plan, they lay the plan. We look at it. I tell them this will work, this will not work. But if you want this to work, tell me how it is on the ground. They will explain it to me, describe the terrain and the rest. I will give my blessing and then I explain to them. That is how it works. I can't sit there and guide them that, oh, this thing that is at Bafuka, go attack it. Oh, this one that is here, do this. I can't do that. No normal human being who is having even the least bit of sense in his head is going to do that. You'll be setting a trap for people that you are not there. You don't know the changes that are taking place. Changes are taking place every second, every minute, every hour, every day. That is how you operate. Don't drag me into something I have nothing to do with it. Keep me out of it. Keep me out of it. And take your conference out of Canada. Give Canada a chance to be able to reach out and find a way to bring both sides on the table. If it fails, it will not be that they have not tried. Not that we make it to fail. Because of trying to stick it on the noses of others. Since I withdraw, at that same time, Comrade Cho withdraw. It looks as if you guys want to stick it on our noses. No, you are sticking it on the people of Southern Cameroon, not us, not me. Because I can come here and tell you my position. Let everybody know that I have nothing to do with it. And I don't even want to come closer to it. Take it away. Even if you brought it to Arkebula, aka Africa, without finding a means where we can try to bring everybody together, I will still be out of it, even though I propose that it must come to the continent. There are people in SCAC that I don't want to have any business to do with them. In this SCAC, who signed this invitation that they sent to me, I don't want anything to do with them because I do not trust them. I'm not asking you not to trust them. I do not trust them. Their names are there, they have signed it. But I'm prepared to give that chance to say, oh, they went to UC. We said UC should bring people together. They brought them, they went there, they listened. Who knows? Saul became Paul. So maybe this is the time for the Sauls to become Paul. This is their time. If they change their ways and show their dedication in what they are doing, and stop acting like they have some other agenda which has to do with La République du Cameroun, because agenda for power is not an agenda. It is an agenda for chaos that is a problem. Each one of us have interest. Every one of us, even our organizations, movements, groups, have interest. When we accuse even Western powers that, oh, what is your interest that you are getting involved in this? We all have interest. Our major interest is to be free. And while we are trying to be free, there are people among us who have major interest to make sure that if that freedom comes in what way whatsoever, they should be the one to be on top of that freedom. so that they can start teleguiding it for us. Others have already taken their own positions. So people have interest. Groups have interest. Organizations have interest. And countries have interest. It is on the basis of interest that diplomacy works. Otherwise, there's no diplomacy. Diplomacy is a game of interest. So even when you and me think that the interest of that person doesn't work for us, that's diplomacy. We only need to find a way to make sure that interest can somehow tilt towards our own direction when we are walking our own. So it is how you play it. You don't play it where you fail. It is not the issue of the country. It is who is there. You don't play it where you fail. You fail. That's diplomacy. It's a very crafty act. That's how crafty it is. You see the way the United States is playing over Niger. They are not playing the same game France is playing. France is not saying we will attack Niger, but they are saying we will support whatever decision ECOWAS takes. That is an implication of what France is saying. And the US has got bases there. They are playing it safe. That is interest. Is it that the US doesn't want democracy? No. That is interest. It is how you use the interest of that other person to your own advantage. How you find a means to navigate and work towards it. It's not to go out and just think that you can just become bombastic with them and that will make you, they will know you. Maybe an online TV station or somebody will call you to interview you, make you somebody. No. You are harming yourself. You are making it difficult for you to even move around. You are not only risking your life, you are risking your own direct family wherever you are. And then you are harming the struggle. Because there are people out there who might be seeing the struggle through your lens. But if you decide to darken one of those lenses, one of the lenses, you darken it, you are causing trouble to all of us. So you should understand that no matter how you put it, how you say it, we still have a stake in what you are saying. We know who is who here in this struggle. We know people that when they say something, people will ask questions. And we know others that when they say something, it disappears. Nobody takes it seriously. So we should be careful with the choice of words we put out there, either in our writing or the way we say it. If you want to double down, go ahead and double down. You will pay for it. I'm saying this, I'm not hiding. If you want to double down to say, oh, if I change my ways or if I do this, it will seem as if I listen to Dr. Akwanga. Any of you should go and double down. You will pay for it. That's how the world is. We all will pay for whatever we do. Good, fine. Bad, fine. We'll pay for it. That is how the world is. We must find a way to stop this madness. That is how it works. And that is how it's going to be. The least error we make, the Tamil Tigers or the people from Tamil, that leadership will be seen as saint. Understand what I mean? The least sliding will make again. The Tamils will be seen as saints. They will be seen as saints. So we have to be careful. For me, as I've said, I'm cutting off relationship with anybody who is going to do something that doesn't make sense. I don't want to have business to do with you. I'm not going to fight you. Just go ahead and do what you want to do. Okay? I'm not going to ask you to speak like me, to act like me. I'm just asking you that when you ever want to make a statement, you want to do something, look at the bigger picture. That is all. If the bigger picture is not important, it is a few minutes of fame, your arrogance, or you just want people to think that, oh, you are tough, a tough guy. No, talking tough doesn't make you tough guy. It doesn't make you tough guy. It doesn't make you tough guy. Talking sensible makes you tough. Talking smartly makes you tough. Adding wisdom in everything that you put out there makes you tough. Even if everybody doesn't recognize you, even your own conscience will applaud you. That is how the world is. Do I know it all? No. But there are issues which I think I know better. As I told one of my lecturers in the University of Birmingham, that I'm sorry, there is none of you who will come here to tell me more about Arkebuland than the Arkebuland I come from. Especially the issues of political economy or political crisis in the continent. No. You can't be calling yourself an expert on African affairs. Can I call myself an expert on European affairs? Will you Europeans accept me to be an expert on European affairs? If I even write books on European affairs, can you people use it in your schools? Do you know how it was difficult to use the book of Wole Soyinka? It is because they didn't have another opportunity. So we cannot be fooled. Look among us, you know, there is somebody who knows something and know it very well. You need to applaud that person. Because being envious and playing all types of dirty games, being jealous, or thinking that if you do this or do that, you will meet up with that person is a waste of time. It will never happen. It will never happen. That is how the world works. And we must take that into consideration. Because a lot of mess has been done in this struggle. A lot of mess. Done by us. Done by us. How many of us, we have blasted humanitarian dialogue, said all types of things, yet we know how many, the number of places that HD has been involved in peace processes around the world. We clouded our people, oh, these are Swiss people, they are this has happened, that is going on, this and that. By ourselves, we are nothing. Fear. 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 If this did not come through us, we cancel it. If this did not come through us, we cancel it. That's what I said. Some of you people brought CDN. I said, fine. I'll work with them. I only told you people one thing. If the United States Institute for Peace is not involved in assisting to bring our people together with all this chaos, Akwanga will not be involved. I am saying it here in the open. It is not just because I carry US passport, I'm a US citizen. And I have no regret for that. When La Republic rejected me, the United States opened its arms and embraced me. And I'm happy. There are many of us who are dual citizens. But I know where I was born. And I know where my umbilical cord was buried. We should be very careful how we talk. All this nonsense where we go out and tell people, oh, you are taking sides with Western organizations. You are taking sides with the West. And the person who is talking like that is not staying at the corner. It's not at the corner of Mamu. They are in the West. Having Western documents they're moving with. Still even applying for some. They are running their mouth. Running their mouth. As I sit here, to conclude, as I sit here, if I see Alexander Libeskin, I might move towards him. Than if I see some of you people, I will run away very far. I will run away. Because I could decipher the interest of HD. I could put my hands to say, this is their interest. I'm seeing it. I understand it. I get it. Then when I come to us, I ask, what is our interest? What's our interest? As individuals, when we do the things we are doing. Where is the interest? When you go and organize a conference in Canada, then we are trying to have SCAT to do consultation where we consult with our people from one part of maybe North America, Europe, Africa, everywhere to consult with them. Who is losing? Who? Homeland is losing. Homeland is losing. That is the issue. Homeland is losing. Homeland is losing. The person who sat and said, oh, please, let's find a way to bring our people together. Nobody talks about it. It was Ayaba. Look at you, Ayaba. How many applauded it? Because we did it behind the scene. We brought over the idea. And even after buying over the idea, some of us want to take that idea and run away with it when we don't even know where it is going. We will sit in a meeting, take a decision, you people will come, you will say something. Your brother will not even say, I concur with that. They will take that same statement you have made, repeat that same statement to make sure that they should also hear them as if they have brought their own position. That is the type of foolishness we have. We don't want to accept that this person knows this better than me. This is my own domain. We want to be here. We want to be there. Some say, oh no, we need this group to be on its own so that next time when they go to Canada, we too will sign document. Sign document. Sign document. I have a problem. I have a problem. I don't know what are the cure for this illness that has affected many of our people. Especially those of you passing as leaders. Because I see you are rulers, you are not leaders. Whether there is a cure yet for it. And at times, I even see, I don't even know why to blame you people. I blame the gullible people. Who anybody who speaks good grammar, dresses well. Well, no, that's our leader there. This is my own leader here. Oh, this one is my own leader. I have all these type of people. In APLM, I have my own brother who was criticizing Dr. Cho on why he left SCYL to start what he did. He too did what? Nobody sent him away. He started his own organization. He's running it out there. My own brother. There's no justification. Nobody gives any reason. I can't fit here. They need to hear me better. I need to start my own. That is the chaos. Let me ask you people one last question. Are we sure in any form whatsoever we will not be able to beat the record of South Sudan? Are we sure? Are we really sure? Forget about all the talks we say behind the scene and the rest. Are we sure? Are we sure? Don't do county by county. You are going to tribalize the struggle. You people say, Now, when Meta people are having, when there is Momo County meeting, the vast majority of what is spoken is either a Meta, because Metangi, or that's how it is. What language do you think they will speak there? English, Pidgin. The vast part of it is in the dialect. If you say Manu County, really Manu County, what language do you think they are going to speak? They don't speak Ejagan, aka Kayaka. They'll speak Bayan. Some will call it Upper Bayan. You will not even hear Akwaya. Akwaya is lost. They are the minority. When they say Lebialem County is meeting, what do you think they speak? What do you think they speak? Though they speak a bit of English, the vast majority of what they speak there is Mwe. Mwe, which most of you people call Bangwa. It's not even Mundani. Mundani is a minority in it. I'm just telling you people the things you people have done in this struggle that they said don't do it. You people are so bent on doing it. And the chaos and the danger and how it has helped to the death of our people. The whole of Lebialem is wasted, destroyed. Because of all these oversabi devils. Dr. this, Reverend this, Pastor this, Mr. this, Miss this, Chief this, everybody is coming. Audio here, this one there, this one there. Ale, ale, ale. That is it. They have destroyed it. You come even to Mundani. The Mundani ones who think that, hey, who is Akwanga? We know their house. We know his uncle. We know their compound. How can we allow him to shine above us? They say they too want to be heard. They align with those from Mwe to be in the county. They appoint this county this one that. Where is he going to? They say, oh no, they don't want Sokadef. They want to start their own self-defense group in Bichati. It has helped to kill all the strong young boys who are there. They are dead. Pinyi, county by county. Pinyi people say, oh, we don't want Sokadef. We don't want this, we don't want that. They sat in South Africa, held a meeting. I told Sokadef, pull out. By the time Sokadef is pulling out, everything is in tatters. Mbe Santa, nothing. Now they kidnap a woman, kidnap the child. This is going on, that is going on. That is how they operate. That's how they operate. They say, oh no, you should come to Bui. I said, no, Bui has been my stronghold. I don't speak Lamso, but I respect the people from that land. I respect them. Keep everything aside. That is the only place in the northern region where I can go there at any time. I will enter a house and feel free. Because as much as I did not have the name very you, I know very well that the people just saw me like a lamb-so child. Character-wise, everywise. I go there. I said, I will not take Sokadev there when I see that my junior brothers and sisters and others are killing themselves because they want to take control. They were not fighting to take control of the Bakassi area where we have oil, where we can even use it for the struggle. They were fighting to take control in an area which is almost a barren land, making other people's children to kill themselves. That's how it has been. Then, when we are no longer shouting, we are no longer moving the way we were moving, our brothers and sisters who wanted to take advantage behind us to skip to the other level by bringing up the whole notion of federation, they too, they are almost mute. The moment we increase, they say, oh, this is what we want. Oh, that is your opinion. They were not there shouting. When we stick out our neck, then they come and say, okay, no, you stick out your neck, you smoothing the road, now we'll come in with this. They don't even sit for one day and set that bed. What are we doing? We are the same people. Why should we be the one fighting ourselves? Why should it be that every now and then, when there is a problem like this, it should be us versus us? Not the other people coming on board to do something. They are using us to fight ourselves every now and then. They don't ask those questions. Oh, you are a traitor. Oh, you are this. We develop all types of names to call people. One grain of hair has not left the body of those people. They still move around. They still talk with some of us. They go to Born House. They go to Kraida. They mix with us. Even today I'm talking. Some of you people just left dancing Makosa. You were either in a Born House or you were doing a birthday. You do birthday parties. You do all types of stuff. You were there. You were there. That is how it is. Because you hate Akwanga, you are prepared to destroy this struggle. You hate Akwanga. You don't even look at the millions of people you are killing. The ones from the quarter that you come from. That maybe you played football with, under the rain with. Your own children, your children's children. You don't think about that. You don't think of the school you went to, where you have to struggle to sit in class. Your parents have to make the decks and everything. You don't think about it. You don't think of the good life. The days you used to go to the farm to harvest corn. You come and roast it. You harvest groundnuts. You come and boil it. Plums. You climb a plum tree. Your neighbor will say, okay, just get the one you can eat. Or you go, you harvest pear. And you don't think of that good life. You don't think of it. You are crowded by McDonald's. Fast food. That's affected your thinking. You do everything the other way around. So, my people, I am not part of SCPC. That's the last time I'm saying. Don't get me involved into anything. Don't take the Canadian initiative, which was endorsed, or anything that was endorsed in this way and put out there. If you want my signature to be anywhere, you must have prior authorization from me. At least I'm still alive and I own that. You don't deceive the people to give them impression that I support something when I'm not part of it. And lastly, don't think that when you are somewhere with your people and they disagree and say they don't want to be party to something, what you can do is to stick it to them. You are not sticking SCPC on me. You are not. You are not sticking it. Maybe you might stick it on Ayaba. If he wants it to be stick on him, you can't stick it on my face. Because I don't give a damn. You can hold 10,000 conferences. It has nothing to do with me. I will not fight them. If you don't mention me in it, you don't bring me in it. But if you dare, I will not spare you. None of you. I will come after you. Today, I've been very mild. Please, don't push the button. Do not push the button. Because if you dare, I will not spare you. There is nothing I'm scared of. You can go out and put whatever you want to put. You want to do this. I don't care. This is who I am. When it comes to this struggle, a private life is a private life. Nobody should enter into it. But when it comes to this struggle, you will show respect where it is due. You will do only what you think you are able to do. You will not be allowed to deceive the people. And you will no longer use me. I repeat, you will no longer use me to legitimize whatever thing you want to do. I will only allow myself to be used for the good, the general good of those I call my people and my homeland. Thank you so much. And wherever you are, especially for each of you who is still at the battlefront, or pray for your protection, for your wisdom, how you prosecute things on the ground. Remember, a powerful guerrilla unit don't need to be 100,000 people. A unit of 5 can bring down the most mighty military. Keep going.
That was Dr. Akwanga there, and I would thank him for his dedication to the struggle. You know, he has been so powerful. You know, this struggle, like I said before, it has been for so many years and decades that this struggle was started. And people have started this struggle long ago before. So people still think that this struggle started in 2016. But from people like Dr. Akwanga, Honorable Sama Thomas, and the others, you know, that have been there since long ago. Okay, we are learning a lot from these guys, because they know the history, they know the trend of events before 2016. Some people come in 2016, come and claim ownership. You know, it doesn't make sense. You come in 2016, come and claim ownership of what people have been fighting for decades. You know, when you listen to Dr. Akwanga, you see of somebody who is a true fighter. He's a freedom fighter. Someone that was imprisoned in Kondengi. He survived. He was given even excreta to eat. But these are people who people can just talk to them anyhow because they started a struggle in 2016. Come on now. Let's learn to respect elders. Let's learn respect is something that, you know, all along this is a program, I heard a lot. His statement was focused towards that disrespect of some guys who just think that because they are member of a group, they can talk to anybody at, you know, anyhow. It doesn't work like that. We know elders in this struggle. No matter what, everybody must have their respect. It doesn't mean that because we are sitting in the same table or sitting in the same Zoom meeting, you can just talk to people anyhow. It doesn't work like that. That respect must be earned. And people like Akwanga, Dr. Akwanga, come on. These are people who have sacrificed in this struggle. Let's learn to give people respect. Okay? No matter what, like our brother, Honorable Sama Thomas was saying in the other show, I think you please try and watch that show. Honorable Sama Thomas explained the trends that no matter, even if things are going badly, respect those people who have been putting their own effort, putting their life, you know, no matter what. Before you start calling people names, black leg, or this one they say coup plotters, and this plotting coup against what? They will call all kinds of names, but at the end of the day, they are still losing cases. They will carry people to court. They carry you know, they will take people to court, but they will lose the case because legality is there. It's the same thing we are talking about La Republic. La Republic is even afraid to go to court because they know if they go to court, they'll lose the case. Eh? But I just want to close this show by saying that Dr. Akwanga has been very, very vehemently angry with those organizers of the upcoming Canada event that is coming up, that they are using his name to do their stuff without consultation. So we are just saying that there are many of these guys who, they were the same people who went and say, oh, they are the big four, the big D's. Come on. There are people in this struggle, no matter what, name doesn't matter. Dr. Akwanga just made mention this. It's what you are doing on the ground. It's what you are doing on the ground that matters. You can have 30 conferences. It doesn't matter. What are you doing on the ground? Show what you're doing on the ground. That's what matters. How many lives are you saving? How many people are you feeding? How many people are you calling and try to support? That is what matters. All these people going around at their conference, this and blah, it's just waste of time. Okay? It's waste of time because Dr. Akwanga emphasized that if you are having any conference without trying to bring everybody together, then that conference does not have a goal. The goal is to unify the people, unify the groups, have one goal so that when you say something, bam, it becomes what the people of Ambazonia are saying. That's how powerful the joint statement can be. But anything that, you see, I even made mention of this when the activists went to Belgium. I was part of the activist group. They took some of us out. They say, oh, they don't want some of you guys. Oh, I'm like, okay, I'm out. But they went to Belgium. What happened in Belgium? Activism is earned. It's not a name. Activists do not put name on somebody. What you do, people know this guy is an activist. Okay? People, these youths who don't even know what they're doing, they are not. I'm a journalist by profession. You don't need to call me activist or whatever before I know that I'm an activist. But so people who don't even know what they're talking about. I'm a political scientist, and as a journalist, I can say things that I know. I can analyze things. But people who just have things, they think that, because we started this thing, okay, they started in 2016, they can just speak to people anyhow. They don't know people like Dr. Akwanga who have been there à l'époque. They have been there. Man, we need to respect people. Okay? This guy, they say they are the never again generation. Never again generation means what? What are you doing to prove that you are a never again generation? Thank you for watching, and God bless you all. See you in the next episode of the show. This is IMM Media, Radio and Television. I'm Comrade Fris Misodi, your host. Thank you for watching.